Hey, what's going on, everybody? Part 4 here of my Final Fantasy 13-2 100% completion walkthrough. We're still in New Bodom 3AF right now, and we just completed the opening fight scenes where you had to fight the 5 groups of Nectins and Neo-Nectins. And right now, we're just going to give a brief introduction of what's been going on in Final Fantasy 13-2. Right now, we found out Noel Christ fell from the sky in Valhalla and met lightning. And he's gonna continue the journey that lightning gave to him and finding Sarah. That'd be Sarah right there, and that's Noel joining the fight. So that's pretty much a breakdown of what happened recently in the game. As we continue on, Noel and Sarah just beat off all the 5 groups of Nectins and Neo-Nectins, and we're going to investigate where and what happened at the meteor site. Nothing interesting or pretty pertinent happens right now. Just pretty straightforward is you got to go and investigate the meteor site. Pretty easy, so we're going to go ahead and hop on that right now. I usually don't like to control Sarah too much. I actually like Noel as my party leader for many reasons. Bigger health, bigger HP, and he can do a little bit more of the he has a little bit better abilities if you know, from just a personal standpoint. But what I would like to point out is that you're going to want to not go out of your way to make battles, but you're going to want to get into as many battles as possible. I'm not saying, you know, kind of don't be a CP whore, but you're definitely going to want to, as you go along, any battle that does trigger, you're going to want to get into it. And that's the most important part right there. So we're going against a Pulse Work Soldier right here. These are basic strategy. You're going to want to switch to your Ravager and Commando, Slash and Burn Peregrine, and then once you stagger him, you're going to want to switch to your Double Trouble staggering method, and then there will be an increased damage bonus. Pretty easy. We're going to pick up the Treasure Spear over here, which I believe is just a bunch of potions. Not too bad. We have an upcoming fight. I'm not going to ruin it for you guys. The reason I come over here is just to explore the map a little bit for a future fragment that we're going to get way later in the game, but it just makes it a little bit easier if I do it now. As you can see, I'm not really going out of my way to find battles. They're kind of triggering, and when they trigger, I just I go to them. I'm not really going out of my way to make a fight, but when they do trigger, I make sure I interact with them and actually get the CP bonuses, because it's going to help for later on in the game, and especially later on in this episode. So getting about 16 CP a fight with 40 gil, and the gil is also important to get, and this is one of the more important treasure spheres. It's the map of New Bodom 3AF, pretty important. You're going to want to try to get all the maps for the areas you're going to be in. It makes exploration a lot easier and a lot more navigable. That means you know which area to go to, which area has been explored, and which area hasn't, instead of kind of just the trial and true method of just exploring just blindly. So it does make it a little bit easier. So we're going to let you guys watch this cutscene, and I'll get back to you after it.
Still in one piece? We're seeing lots of unfriendly critters around that meteorite. Oh, who's this?
Oh, this is Noel. He helped LeBro and me out of a tight spot.
Is that right?
Hey, I'm good to go. Okay, take it easy, big guy. I am not here to make trouble for anyone.
You better not. Anything happens to Sarah, the boss will string your carcass out to dry.
I'll take care of Sarah. You got my word on it.
Okay, that was one of the live triggers that happens in the intro. So we're just gonna keep continuing on to the meteorite. Kind of, this is the only way I really go out of my way to get into a fight. I kind of, you know, double back. But same thing with the Pulse Work Soldier. We're gonna switch to our Slash and Burn, and then we're gonna stagger him, and then just finish off with a Double Trouble dual commando type attack right here. Pretty easy. As we're getting more into the game, I'm going to explain the different pilgrims and their effects on the enemy when it comes to damage bonuses. boost bonuses, and overall strategy of the game. The tougher boss battles are going to require us to switch and to strategize according to the boss battle, and we'll get into that when we hit that point. It's kind of confusing, but I'm going to have a whole video dedicated just to the breakdown of that alone. So right there in the treasure sphere, we got a very important Libroscope, and Libroscope is an item that allows you to view the stats of the enemy, their weaknesses, strengths, and your auto ability, your auto battle will automatically adjust to the new information. So it's really helpful, and it's a really important item to get. Another pulse work soldier, and the reason I like fighting these guys actually is because they give up potions, and potions are pretty effective in the beginning parts of the game when you don't have a medic role that you get later in the game. So they're pretty important to have when it comes to healing during the boss fights. So like before, we're just going to the meteor site. That's our main objective right now, is to investigate the meteor site, and we're hopping through, getting the easy battles and trying to get as much CP as we can before entering the meteor site. And upcoming is a very important scene in episode 1. So after we fight this Meteorite, which is a pretty quick one, I avoid the slash and burn because it's already been staggered almost all the way, and Noel was going to go ahead and finish it off. So it only took us a couple seconds, and it gave us about 12 CP. But here is our first up and coming, excuse me, sorry, I'm off a little bit. Never mind, we got a little bit to go here. Then we can get into our first boss battle of the game, which is going to be really cool, really fun and interesting, and it's going to show a little bit more of the strategy of Final Fantasy 13-2. So right there we got a Phoenix Down, which revives your players from KO, meaning knockout. So if your player does go down in battle, you can use a Phoenix Down in your items category, and you can revive that player. Pretty easy, really helpful, and it also protects, casts Protect, and I believe Shell on them, or Vigilance, one of the two. So this is our first boss battle right here. This is Gogmagog. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, but this is the Gogmagog Alpha, and this is a pretty straightforward boss battle. What you're going to want to use is your slash and burn in order for Sarah to increase his chain bonus, and then for Noel to keep it going. Since he's a commander role and Sarah's the Ravager role, they're allowed to chain his bonus a little bit quicker. I believe he has a 150 CP bonus or chain bonus, and when he casts that swipe move, you're going to want to switch to your Tortoise Peregrine in order to absorb the damage a little bit better and then not take as much as you would in a normal everyday Paradigm. So whenever you see the word swipe overhead, make sure you switch to your Tortoise Peregrine, and you'll be able to absorb the damage better. And in this game especially, they allow you to switch a little more fluidly without the lag in between, and so it allows you to kind of do it quickly and effectively. So once you get him into the swipe, after the swipe, he's already been staggered, and he staggers relatively easily, and you're going to want to switch to your Double Trouble and just finish him off with your 2 commander rolls. And this should be a pretty easy fight. I did it in about a minute, so there's a pretty awesome easy fight right there, and I got a Phoenix Down at the end of it. So that was, congratulations when you do beat him. That was your first ever boss battle, and then you get also a fragment known as Gogmagog Fragment Alpha, and there are 160 fragments in the game, so there's a lot of fragments, and you're going to want to collect them all, and this guide is going to help you collect all 160. It's going to be really detailed. You're going to pick up these 2 treasure spheres, one containing 300 gil, the other one is going to be Gesell Greens, which are used for chocobos. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of the cutscene for this episode right here. This is part 4, but I look forward to seeing you guys in part 5, and I will see you there. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the video so far. Let me know if you have any questions by messaging me on my YouTube account or hitting me up on Xbox Live. My gamer tag is I'm the Reaper, all capitals, and I'll spell it out for you guys in the message box. Well, thanks for watching. See you guys in episode 5.
Well, we're looking at a different time. That's the world I come from. In my world, Cocoon doesn't exist. When I was born, the sky was already empty. Tell me, How many years has it been since Ragnarok appeared and Cocoon fell?
Well, it's 3 AF, so that was 3 years ago.
For me, all that happened 700 years in the past. I was born and raised in another time. 700 years in the future.
Yes, I knew it. I knew you weren't from this world.
I'm the last of humanity.
Hey!
Sarah, I can take you there. We can find Lightning together. I know she wants to see you.
You're full of it!
Yeah, that's impossible! Lightning's gone, man.
Godot. Noel, do you know where my sister is?
Come with me.
What's happening?
You see? It's a time gate.
What do you mean?
Wow.
Time gate.
What the? It's like a portal. Lightning is in a place called Valhalla. She's waiting on the other side.
I couldn't turn my eyes away. I knew the answer lay beyond that gate. The answer to my doubts and dreams. On the broad plain beneath Cocoon, my sister once celebrated my marriage to Snow. I remember her smile like it was yesterday. But sometime when I wasn't looking, she disappeared. She was gone as if she'd never been there in the first place. Lightning, are you out there? Did I dream that day on Pulse, or did it really happen? Noel says he can find you, but is he telling the truth? Noel's world was a terrible place where Cocoon did not exist. He had traveled back in time to change that bleak future, or so he told us.
Listen, when different eras overlap, all kinds of crazy stuff happens. Objects from different times get mixed up. If you want to open a gate and travel through time, you have to find one of those objects. They're called artifacts.
Artifacts?
The keys to the future. They're anachronisms, relics of a different world. Basically, things that don't belong in your time. If we can find one, we might be able to use it to open the gate. Then we could cross time and travel to Lightning's world.
Could Noel be telling the truth? Beyond that gate, in a place called Valhalla, is Lightning alive and waiting for me? Can I dare to hope again, after all this time? Oh, how I want to believe. I want my sister back.